Last week we talked about the best one of them all, Batman Arkham City, and now we're going to review the kind of disappointment of the franchise, Batman Arkham Origins. It was released in 2013, like 2 years after Arkham City came out. So, and this game was made as a fucking filler for Rocksteady to finish Arkham Knight, the next installment after that. But it's set during the very early years of Batman's career, like when he first started out. I call it the 0 year because I read the comics, so I call it the 0 year. Well, it mostly takes inspiration from Frank Miller's Batman Year One comic book. It takes inspiration from it a bit, but yeah, it's a younger Batman, more rusty, more green, early in his career when he wasn't really called the Dark Knight that much. But in this, Batman is considered an outlaw by the GCPD, and it's set on Christmas Eve. The game's set on Christmas Eve. A bounty's been placed on Batman's head by Black Mask, $15 million, and 8 assassins are after his ass for that money. So yeah, the story's pretty basic, but you forget that Batman even has a bounty on his head for it after you've learned about it. So basically, the game had a lot of potential with its villains. They had like Deadshot, Deathstroke, Bane, Killer Croc, Copperhead, uh, Penguin. I forgot the rest of the villain enemies. But a young Riddler appears, but he's called Enigma in this still. So Riddler trophy kind of things are back, but they're not really Enigma Riddler trophies. They're Enigma data packs. So you need more puzzle solving. But yeah, the story is kind of disappointing. Spoiler alert here, guys. I'm just gonna spoil it for you because it's not that good of a game. The Black Mask that put a bounty on your head isn't Black Mask. It's actually Joker. So they just shoehorned the Joker into the game for no reason. So that's kind of a big disappointment. Making it another Batman versus Joker story. But yeah, but even though they shoehorn Joker into this game, I still love him. I still love him. Troy Baker voices him this time. He sounds like I said in my Arkham Asylum review, he sounds like a really young Mark Hamill, and he just nails the Joker. Roger Craig Smith as well, who voices Batman. He sounds like a young Kevin Conroy. He really does. But yeah, the voice acting in this game is amazing. The boss fights. In fact, let's get to the gameplay actually, because we'll go into the boss fights later. The gameplay is basically ripped straight from Arkham City. Nothing's been done to innovate on it. Nothing's done. Nothing new. There's only like one new gadget, and that's like the remote claw, which you can use to like attach enemies to stuff. Like if you're in a stealth section, you can attach them up to gargoyles so they hang upside down. But that's pretty much it. The gameplay is basically exactly the same, with like one new gadget. And the biggest thing to come in this game was the crime scene investigating. So when you're coming across a crime scene, you can basically go into detective mode and scan for pieces of evidence, and you can rewind and fast forward what happened in a like digital simulation of what happened. So that's a pretty fun bit in this game. That's the one thing they carried over from Arkham Origins into Arkham Knight. But yeah, the gameplay is disappointing. I was expecting more from it. The only good thing was the the crime scene simulations. But the boss fights, there are not too many boss fights in this game. I think there's like 3. And the first one is there's 4. There's Deathstroke. Deathstroke's like the best boss fight in this game, but they hyped Deathstroke up so much in the trailers, but he's only there for like 10 minutes. That's how long he's in the game for, 10 minutes. And that's it. You only fight him once, and that's kind of a disappointment, because I wanted more Deathstroke fights, because that first fight was amazing. But you always had to keep on countering him, and he was countering you, and you had to counter him. That was kind of fun. But it was still a hard fight, though, especially on... Oh, I'm going to get to I Am Night mode later. But, yeah, the boss fights are not that good, apart from, like, Deathstroke and, like, the final Bane boss fight where you have to like go all stealthy on his ass because he's like steroided up on Titan. That's actually quite terrifying, by the way. But yeah, the gameplay and that's the same. Boss fights semi alright, but the story though, the story is the weakest point in this game, and so is the music. The music is bad. The characters are great. The characters are great. Now, let's talk about a little something that is a nightmare for people who play this game. It's a little thing called I Am the Night mode. I Am the Night mode is basically a difficulty mode where it's set to the hardest difficulty, no counter icons or anything, and if you die even once, you go back to the very beginning of the game. Like the very, very beginning, back in like Blackgate Prison. And I managed to get through it without even dying once. So it's a testament to my skills. But yeah, the I Am Night mode is really difficult, really hard, nightmare fuel. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and give Arkham Origins a rating of 6 out of 10. I had a lot writing for it when it first came out, but eventually it just kind of faded away. And I don't know why, but they decided to include a fucking multiplayer mode in it. Why would you need a multiplayer mode in a Batman game? Why? It's just a stupid decision. So I really recommend, if you're the hardcore of Batman fans, I recommend checking this game out. But if you're not and don't bother, just play like Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and then on to Arkham Knight, because this game's got barely anything to do with the Arkham games. Well, it's got a little bit, but it doesn't really leave a lasting impact. So when I'm ready, when I'm done with my Arkham Knight playthrough, I will start to review Arkham Knight. But in the meantime, I'm going to be focusing my full attention on my Arkham Knight Let's Play. Darksiders 2 is getting put to the sidelines, and to bridge the gap between the reviews, I might bring out more reviews of the different games. I might bring out a review of The Darkness, Metal Gear Rising, or a retrospective of the Devil May Cry series, because Devil May Cry is like one of my favourite game series of all time, alongside the Batman games. And I have a lot to talk about on Devil May Cry, because that was my childhood, kind of, along with Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts was my childhood as well. I might do reviews on those sometime soon. But yeah, to bridge the gap between the reviews, I might do a review, a very special review of the animated Arkham movie, Batman Assault on Arkham. So be prepared for that. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, hit that like button, comment, subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video.